Hi everyone, and welcome back. We are heading into episode 11, the penultimate episode. We are almost done with season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer already. How have you found this season so far, Jeanet?
Um, I've really been enjoying it. I can't technically feel nostalgic about it because this is the first time watching it, but it does have kind of that nostalgic essence that just makes me happy.
I really like hearing that. Now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And of course, I will leave Jeanet and myself's social medias. Of course, Jeanet's YouTube channel and her Patreon if you want to head on over there. And if you could, even if you don't want to watch the rest of it, give a good 30 seconds to help with the algorithm, up this up so more people can see these videos because we are really enjoying ourselves. And I say we get straight into episode 11.
Of course, having my dress specially made off the rack gives me hives.
Let me guess. Blue like your eyes.
My eyes are hazel, Helen Keller.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think her eyes are brown.
Well, I haven't been elected May Queen yet.
Oh, Buffy.
Oh, damn.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing with this stuff, huh?
Wow, I'm not.
I don't think they care.
History class.
I would have said the same thing as Cordelia.
She is always
Yeah.
hanging with that creepy librarian in that creepy library.
Hey, did I ever tell you about the time she attacked me at the Bronze?
I swear, Cordelia will not let that one go.
Oh, never.
Does what Shylock says here about being a Jew relate to our discussion about the anger of the outcast at society? Cordelia.
Well, how about color me totally self-involved?
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, it's not justice, it's yicky.
I mean, takes one to know one, I guess.
Yeah.
People who think their problems are so huge craze me. Like this time I sort of ran over this girl on her bike. It was the most traumatizing event of my life, and she's trying to make it about her leg. Like my pain meant nothing.
I mean, she did offer an excellent demonstration of it.
She
I just
really
don't
did.
think it
She
wasn't the
was
way she
open
intended.
for discussion. Yeah, she was involved.
Harmony, they called and said the dress is ready. It's so great. Mitch is gonna die.
Oh, great. We love it when they say that in Buffy.
Right. You gotta look good to be on Cordelia's arm.
Oh, it's not her arm I'm looking to be on.
What, her back?
What?
No, it just, even if you try and make it sexual, it doesn't really make sense. Ugh.
Okay, fun time's over. Come out.
Ow!
Just protect your face. Never mind.
Here's a chocolate. Oh.
I think you're gonna have to work a little bit harder than that.
I don't even like chocolates.
Okay, that was the lamest comeback of our times.
So what you doing?
Remember in 6th grade with the field trip?
Right. The guy with the antlers on his belt.
History of trying too hard.
Yeah, what kind of
Yeah, we could tell.
was me make me anyway?
I was.
The non-moron, I mean.
Well, we didn't call
Nice
it
save,
maybe,
Xander, nice
but-
save.
Guys, come on! Mitch got wailed on. I think he's
Dead? Of course not. No dead students here. This week. Clear back, make room.
This
all
week?
of you.
This week.
The fact that he had to caveat it.
Look.
Blood?
Oh, here you are.
And monsters don't usually send messages. It's pretty much crush, kill, destroy. I love it when he says that. And he does.
Someone with telekinesis, the power to move objects at will.
A ghost?
Yes, and a very angry one.
Yeah, I'd say. The locker room was a real scene.
I wonder if that locker room was maybe previously a girls' locker room.
So there's homework now?
How's
When
that
did that
not?
happen?
It's all part of the glamorous world of vampire slayage.
Well, what part do you have?
Gonna find out what I can about Mitch. You can do it. Ask around, talk to his friends. Talk to Cordelia.
Dr. Cordelia?
Switch back, switch back.
Okay. Well, the doctor says he'll be fine. They're gonna send him home tomorrow.
But he doesn't look good enough to be my date anymore.
All black and blue? How's he gonna look in our prom pictures? Hi. Did you see Mitch? He just broke up with Wendy 8 seconds ago and he's already nosing around. Hi, guys. What do you want?
Okay, so it's one of the students who was bullied by Cordelia,
Oh,
which is
great.
everyone.
Why is she always trying?
Ouch.
Oh, my ankle. I think it's broken.
What happened?
Hey, who's the principal here? What happened?
She fell. She.
No one else can hear that?
Don't sue.
Yeah.
Don't sue.
And Sue, I love that that's the priority. It would be interesting if it was one of the people who'd already died, but I can't remember all the girls who died in the season, so I.
Because there's been so many. That's so morbid if you think about it.
Hey, who's here? Look, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to talk to you.
What if she wants to hurt you, though?
The ghost?
No, from what I've heard, having a ghost pass through you
Oh,
is
those
a
people.
singular experience. It's a rather cold, amorphous feeling.
See, that's my problem. I touched the thing, but it didn't go through me. It bumped into me, and it wasn't
Did we
cool.
miss it?
So we're talking about what, an invisible person?
A girl.
Well, I wouldn't use my powers to beat people up. I'd use
I
my
mean,
powers to
if
protect the girls' locker room.
if she became invisible because that's how she felt, it's quite depressing. Oh. Side note, I love that outfit from Buffy.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh goodness, why do I get the feeling that she's going to be alienated in school by the end of this episode? Oh no, not Giles.
Oh.
Angel.
It's too hard for me to be around her.
A vampire in love with a slayer. In a modern sort
Juliet.
of way.
Yeah.
Most salient books of Slayer prophecy have been lost. The Tiberius Manifesto, the...
Not lost.
Of course it has to be.
Misplaced.
And you know where.
Get it.
There's an invisible girl terrorizing the school. It's fascinating, though. By all accounts, it's a wonderful power to possess.
That's interesting.
I know, but did you see his toupee? I mean, it was like the worst.
We're talking, okay?
Oh, and did you guys check out that extreme toupee?
Yeah, of course they would ignore her and then take what she said.
Mm.
Has Cordelia hired a bodyguard or something?
Yeah.
The Men in Black theme song just comes in my head when I see them.
Yeah, no,
I don't know
and
her.
I mean, this is the second time they've shown them,
Her only
so.
activity was band. She played the flute.
Yeah, I love the style statement with the scarf, but maybe don't wear something that someone could strangle you in.
Yeah, because if they're invisible, you're not gonna tell where they are,
Yeah.
where they're coming from.
Exactly. The stress. Why can't she not hear it?
Press your ass.
Great. That's interesting. The fact that she didn't stab her.
Who's there?
Oh,
My God, Miss Miller! Are you okay?
look, listen.
Have a nice summer. Have a nice summer.
Ouch.
This girl had no friends at all.
Have a nice summer is what you write when you have nothing to say.
It's the kiss of death.
I've been investigating the mystical causes of invisibility when I should have looked at the quantum mechanical.
Uh-huh.
Physics.
Okay, Giles. Yes.
So what do we call him? Willow?
Well, the protagonist.
Okay. And how about you?
It's interesting because it kind of seems like she, as I said, she's been there for a while. So probably at the start she was just kind of like wallowing. And then she realized, well, she's invisible anyway. She might as well take revenge.
Just what we thought. Cordelia.
What?
What are you doing here? You're never in the library.
I know we've had our differences with you being so weird and all, and hanging out with these total losers.
Great start.
I know that you share this feeling that we have for each other deep down.
Nausea?
Somebody is after me. This is all about me. Me.
Wow. for
Once you're
she's
actually right. Oh,
Oh, you and Xandor
So
connecting
you
again.
yeah, no, we share a brain cell apparently.
Their
I think
faces.
she's actually quite observant for someone as self-involved as she is.
You know, I don't recall ever seeing you here before.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
no, I have a life.
Well,
It's this person. Now, do you have any idea why she'd be so...
God, is she really wearing Laura Ashley?
Maybe she's gonna do something about it.
Stop the coronation tonight, maybe. Keep you guys away from the bronze.
Nothing is keeping me from the bronze tonight.
Can we just revel in your fabulous lack of priorities?
If I'm not crowned tonight, then
that was the best
then
sentence.
Marcy's won. And that would be bad. She's evil, okay? Way eviler than me.
Cordelia has a point.
He does have a
Buffy's
point.
with me on this.
Yeah, to be fair, like, she's murdered, or attempted to murder multiple people.
So are you saying she's invisible because she's so unpopular?
That about sums it up.
Yeah.
Bummer for her. You think I'm
She has
lonely
sympathy,
because
that's
I'm so
amazing.
popular? I can be surrounded by people and be completely alone.
True.
Sometimes when I'm talk, everyone's so busy agreeing with me, they don't hear a word I say.
If you feel so alone, then why do you work so hard at being popular?
Well,
You can
it
see
beats
that
being
really
alone
affects
all
the
by
Buffy.
yourself.
You know, there's the option of having actual friends that does exist. I just don't understand why they haven't gotten out the flower yet or something so they can track her footsteps. I know we enjoy being creepy, but maybe turn on more lights.
Marcel?
It's not like she's not gonna see you coming in anyway.
Please, can we talk to you?
Can you say gulp?
But they just locked in with a gas leak. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Somehow it doesn't seem to matter how popular you are when...
You were popular? In what alternate universe?
Buffy, at least as long as she's talking, you know she's still alive. Yeah. See?
Cordelia?
This is why it's better to have her still talking.
Well, damn.
Oh, damn. I mean,
you've got to give it. Marcy's super strong to be able to lift Cordelia up like that.
yeah. Especially considering that's not like one of her features.
It's a good thing she's the Slayer.
We don't like that. I have to say, it definitely feels like this is some of the highest stakes we've had so far, which is pretty impressive considering she's just a normal human person.
I can't feel my face.
It's okay, it's still there.
My face is numb.
Look the similar. AKA, never make the same mistake these people made in forgetting me.
Well, why don't you explain it? Come on, Marcy, what are we supposed to learn?
Yeah, what do you want to teach us?
Face. That's what this is all about, isn't it? Your beautiful face. So it makes you shine just a little bit brighter than the rest of us. I'm fulfilling your fondest wish. I'm gonna give you a face no one will ever forget.
I mean, she's definitely gone past the forgivable stage.
You know, I thought you would understand my vision, but you're just like them.
I'm really intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see how Buffy's gonna solve the fact that she can't see the person she's fighting.
Just a typical self-involved, spoiled little brat, and you think you can charm your way out of this, don't you? Isn't that what you think?
Wonder
So
if
much is
they
going
actually
on.
gave her anesthesia. Yay! I was counting on him to go and help them because I was like, there's no way Buffy's getting there in time.
There's one thing I really didn't factor into all this. You're a thundering loony.
Maybe not insult her right now.
Oi! Yeah. Okay. There's something.
Hey, moron.
Yeah.
I'm invisible.
Love it if Cordelia somehow thought of something. This is gonna be cool. Let's. That was such a cool shot.
I see you.
Uh-oh.
FBI, nobody move.
Okay. We'll take it from here now, man.
We'll take it from here on. Come on.
I mean, they have been around all
Can you
week.
hear her?
We can rehabilitate her.
Dang. Just casually slipping in the. Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Oh.
Hi.
Interesting.
Hey.
Look, I didn't get a chance to say anything yesterday with the coronation and everything. I guess I just want to say thank you.
Listen, we were gonna grab lunch in a minute if you wanted to.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
You're not hanging with these losers, are you?
I was just being charitable, helping them with their fashion problems.
Are you guys keeping track of her?
Welcome, Marcy. Hey.
pretty cool in concept.
Cool.
Like the idea of them being okay with a potential murderer becoming a secret agent for them, I'm kind of like, wonderful, but whatever. It's not the first time that bureaucracy and politics have done something questionable.
Very true. Can't deny that. I don't think anyone can. Okay, so that was episode 11. Out of Mind, Out of Sight.
Okay, that's
That
an interesting one.
Marcy was played by Clea Duvall, who was
Mhm.
quite a well-known teen actress, or at least around that period. She was in a lot of movies. She's in the year after this, The Faculty. She's done, I think, Can't Hardly Wait, which starred Sarah Michelle Gellar's future husband. And
Yeah.
like she's in quite a lot of teen movies around the time, so she was really building up. And I think Clea Duvall's a really good actress. She's still acting to this day, and I think as Marcy, she did do a good job in presenting someone that you can feel quite sorry for at the beginning, but then as it goes on,
Yeah.
it becomes more extreme to the point where you realize she truly is just dangerous.
Yeah, I know that I don't know. It was a very interesting thought that like your human fears. I mean, we kind of saw it with the nightmare, but just this idea of that your human fear or the thing that you most experience could become a physical manifestation, because they're at the hellmouth. Yeah, I do think there's something to be said about what you're willing to do when you don't have an identity attached to you that needs
Mm,
to be held accountable for your actions.
yeah, yeah, no, true. Because over time, clearly, she became very resentful. Probably at first,
Mm.
it was fun, it was cool, it was very new. And as a teenager,
Mm.
being invisible is probably what sometimes you want to be or what you feel
Mm.
you are. But clearly, it drove her to to the brink of insanity with having no one to communicate with. And as
Yeah.
we saw that by the looks of it, I'm going to hazard that she probably started to go invisible around the time Buffy started, because Buffy wasn't in any of the flashbacks, but she kind of
Yeah.
knew about Buffy, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it could have been just before. Actually, it could have been just before she arrived.
Yeah, I would think it might be just before she arrived because it's possible that although knowing that she does of Buffy is what observing her after she's already turned invisible.
Mm,
Because I mean, out of everyone, and maybe this is giving Buffy too much credit, but I feel like Buffy would at least remember her because she is quite observant. So even if she wouldn't know her name, she might have remembered her if she was there when Buffy started going to school.
mm. Well, I mean, Marcy does say near the end, out of everyone, she thought Buffy would understand her the most. So she clearly
Mm.
hears what people say about Buffy and how lonely Buffy probably feels at times. Because I know she has
Mm.
Xander and Willow, but she's still, the Slayer. She's still the weird girl who clearly people do know that she's strong and she's around when weird things happen. So, I guess Marcy felt she had a connection with Buffy because, as you pointed out, if Buffy's not there, then she's never been slighted by her to feel any sort of
Mm.
animosity.
Yeah, and the thing is also, I think what makes it a little bit worse for Buffy in a sense is because we in this episode definitely got the acknowledgement that she was the popular girl back in her old high school. So the shift from being someone that everyone wants to be around to now only having two people that she can really call her friends
Mm.
is a big one. And especially I think at that age where everything feels so gigantic, it's even worse.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Buffy can. Well, in this instance, I guess Buffy can relate to both Cordelia and Marcy. So she's on both ends of the spectrum in terms of in this episode. So that's a nice, I guess, juxtapose of her previous life to now her current life and everything that's gone on within a span of only a year. Because she stated when the show first started, she'd been a slave for about around a year now at this point. And what I'm curious about, what did you think about it clearly being a Cordelia-centric episode? And do you think they did a good job in how they presented Cordelia and maybe a bit of an insight into her?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, some of the moments of wisdom felt a bit heavy-handed from her. Like I very much got the sense that they're trying to give her depth, and for the most part I think they really did succeed. I liked the fact that she actually came afterwards and like thanked them, and then when that hand was reached out for like, you're welcome into our circle, it just was too much too quickly for her. No, I'm not saying that she'll ever become part of their circle, but I like that they kind of almost opened the door to them being able to count on each other when it really matters.
Yeah, I feel a really good episode for Cordelia, especially because we haven't really got much. She's either the damsel in distress or she's not in the episode. And then we've got this full-on episode where she is the center focal point and she is the A story. So of course it's very important to have her be fleshed out. And I do think they did a really good job because they let us see that she is studious. She does actually read and learn in class. She may not say the most PC thing. She may sometimes her discussions are quite fun to listen to, but she actually takes notes, she studies, and I think that gave a nice layer because you may not feel Cordelia would do that from the presentation of her from the previous episodes. It almost as if she didn't really care. She wanted to more be popular and the cheerleader, but this shows actually she's very much a layered, intelligent woman. And I think another part was when she spoke to Buffy, which I think was one of, if not her most profound moment, which was you could be as popular as anyone, but people don't listen to you and you're still the loneliest person there. I thought that was a really nice moment to let you know how astute she actually is to her surroundings and people around her.
Yeah. What I actually liked more in that specific scene was not like what she was saying as such, but more the fact that she was so aware of how people perceived her, which to me also shows a level of emotional intelligence. So it's not just, oh, I'm just saying this is very much, she's aware of how people are perceiving her and she's tailoring how she reacts to it, which plays also into what we see at the end as well, which I really liked. And again, the fact that she was studious, like I feel like it's very common in teens, and it's more common than they ever portray in most shows, in my opinion, that you're like, just because you're only interested in certain subjects doesn't mean you're dumb. So I like that we got to see her being interested and invested in a certain subject because it made her feel more real.
Yeah. And it also highlighted, or at least for me it did, that she is quite intelligent because the teacher, she was very impressed with her. And, there was a connection with the teacher, and again, I think that's a really nice moment for Cordelia. And as you said, she is definitely very much aware. She was aware of everything going on with Buffy. She may not know fully the understandings of what it is, but she's still aware. And as you said, she does tailor herself to her surroundings because she is the popular girl. So she's clearly over the years learned how to read the people around her so that she stays on top and so that they listen, they follow her, and that she doesn't fall down the food chain of popularity, if you want to put it like that. Maybe not food chain, but there is a hierarchy, and Cordelia is very much an intelligent person. I mean, we had it throughout the whole episode, like her figuring things out herself about and aware of her surroundings, plus knowing how to campaign for herself. I think was very smart as well. She knew exactly how to interact. She knew how to change the tone of her voice the way she would smile and look at someone. She's very much someone who had more or less been trained, or at least trained herself, probably from kindergarten, I imagine. You know, she's probably been
Yeah.
popular because she comes from a wealthy family, and obviously money does help,
Mm.
especially when we're watching 90s teen American programs. And I don't know, I just think it's a really good episode. Again, I love Cordelia, as you know. I'm talking about season one Cordelia for me is, I think when the show, she's always going to be, her and Buffy are my favorites this season. And it's weird because obviously Cordelia is not in every episode and she's not always the nicest, but I think this was such a good episode to just let us into her world a little bit and get to understand her so much more.
Yeah, and also like it sounds bad because it's a little bit judgmental of me considering it's Cordelia. But when she found the teacher lying on the desk, I thought she was kind of like gonna freak out and run away. So the fact that she actually went and tried to like check on her and saved her in the end, I actually thought was a really nice thing.
You know what? You saying that has made me just realize every single time someone around her was hurt, she never ran away. When Mitch was hurt, she went straight up to him to see if he was okay. When Harmony got pushed down the stairs, which made me really nervous for the actress because she was in heels going down those stairs, but she ran to see if Harmony was okay. And I think that's a good point. She never actually ran away. She always faced it head on. And I think that's actually I think you made a really good point. I never realized that for every moment, instead of her running away, she actually faced what was coming towards her, which you wouldn't think because it is Cordelia and how, I mean, it's okay to be a little bit judgmental because, again, it's just a character. And it's not like you're saying the real person's like this, but, she's it's kind of hard not to think like that about her when, she's presented herself in such a way before this. But yeah, she doesn't run away, actually. She faces it on, numbing face and all.
That was interesting. I also, now that I'm thinking about it, I like the fact that we never got her addressing the fact that her face could have very well been scarred. Like, she was actually just so happy to be alive that she didn't care about her looks.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's one of those moments where, she has been focused on her looks throughout the whole show, and in this instance, she's not. She's just extremely happy that what was happening has stopped, and she now feels at least semi-safe. I don't know if you can feel fully safe in Buffy, because
Yeah,
that
no.
was really deadly. So yeah,
I mean, I guess the principal could count this week as a win because no one actually died. So yeah, well done to him.
That was so facetious of me. But it's and nice use of comedy as usual. This show is very, very good at that. The whole don't sue and things like that. Or I think in terms of the comedy element, I think one of my favorites was when Cordelia comes into the library and and Cordelia says there's something between us, and then Willow says nausea. I thought that was quite a Willow moment. Like, okay, Willow, good on you. I don't know. It's something about this show where when the core group is together, and that includes Cordelia, it is just magnifying. I'm talking about the comedy. Obviously, the other parts of it, the drama is very good. They're all really good actors, but the comedy, the way they are, I feel like when Charisma's in a scene with all of them, the bouncing off one another is magnified. I think it's because they're all so funny, and then you have another person who is just as funny as the rest of them. I don't know. It's just the comedy when all of them are together is brilliant.
But I mean, I think it's also because if Cordelia is part of the scene, you can have them roasting each other, where like Buffy and Xander and Willow don't really have the roasting dynamic between themselves. I think the most they will do is like maybe make a joke about Xander's inability to get a girl or something like that. But they don't really have that roasting dynamic, so then you get a different angle of humor when you add Cordelia, which is really nice.
Well, Cordelia is their antagonist. She's not a main antagonist of the show, but she's their one. So of course, and her and Xander are just amazing because it's a deep-rooted hatred for one another that is clearly gone from probably the first moment they met one another. And again, we also have Mercedes McNabb, who plays Harmony, and we got to know her a little bit, and it's like, okay, that's interesting because we've seen her about, I think, right? Like here and there, but now we finally know her name.
Yeah.
Like she has a name, and it always interests me because she's in both the Addams Family movies, especially the second one where she has a very prominent feature in it. So
is she
she's Amanda from the
blonde
summer camp.
girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh goodness.
And she's in the first one in a very small scene where she's a
Yeah,
Girl
she does
Scout.
the Girl Scouts
Yeah.
cookie thing.
I think they just really liked her and brought her back. But yeah, it was just nice to kind of also that's another added layer, Cordelia's friends and what they're really like. And they feel even more, and they probably are, even more vapid and shallow than she is. At least she has substance, which I think is a really nice thing to make her stand out from her friends or her little followers. Because, there's so many extras that get featured. These featured extras, she's always got a new clique with her. So it's nice to have someone who is, or at least feels a little bit of a constant in Harmony, being someone we can at least attach to Cordelia.
Yeah, that's true. And like the fact that she has at least one person that she keeps around, like, makes her feel a little bit more real because you don't, even if you are in the type of friendship dynamic that she is in with the people around her, I feel like you have at least one person that you can kind of rely on. But there was another thing. Oh, what I wanted to say was with Xander and Cordelia, I actually really like the fact that we never got a Xander crushing on Cordelia thing. I think maybe for like 0.2 seconds at the start of the first episode, somewhere there was like him trying to hit on her, but that might just be me misremembering.
I think I might have to go look back because you could be correct. You never know. With this show, they could have done that for that nanosecond because again, it was like a pilot. So you change things around as the show goes on because a pilot doesn't always mean it's definitive. That's how the show is.
Yeah. But it's also possible that I'm misremembering it, and it was Xander's friend, the one who died.
Oh, that was Jesse. Jesse had a huge crush on Cordelia.
So maybe it was
he was full on hitting on her every chance. Yeah, maybe it's Jesse. Poor Jesse. No mention, by the way, of Jesse. Could we at least have a mention, of maybe this was our best friend and he's now gone? But no. Now, okay.
But yeah.
I was gonna freeze and see how long it took you because you were gonna say, what? Okay, so we spoke about Cordelia. I feel like maybe to hear your thoughts on Marcy a little bit.
I don't have that many thoughts on her.
Sorry. Oh. You were like, oh.
No, because the thing is, in principle, I want to sympathize with her, but the things that she did was so inherently vicious that it feels disproportional, I think most people have been bullied and felt invisible at some point within their life, and we don't all turn out to be raging maniacs.
Yeah, some of
I'm
us.
Speaking for myself here. Yeah. I don't know if
just us two. No one else. We're not talking about anyone else.
Your mileage may differ, but yeah. I just the way that it so quickly escalated for me, it wasn't like, if you think about even in The Witch, it really did kind of like, there were steps to this. Whereas with her, to beat someone the way that she beat him is very intense. And it also felt a little bit strange to me that when you look at why she did everything she did surrounding Cordelia, it feels like, so you're willing to do that much to people who were technically just collateral? You know, that's a lot. Even because
Also,
all the teacher really did was ignore her, which I know, like, it's not great, but you know, it also didn't feel intentional. So, and you're willing to murder her for that?
but I think you brought up a very, very important thing there that I've always thought about when I've watched this episode when it comes to Mitch, which is the damage she gave him. Like, she, considering he was actually not talking nicely about Cordelia, he was trying to say, I'm using her for sex, and he was being quite misogynistic. I thought that's interesting, considering I know Cordelia's the focal target for Marcy, and she wants people to look to see what's going on. But I was like, she really went to town on him. You would actually think she might applaud him for being not so nice towards Cordelia, considering how much she truly hates her. But I guess it's just take out what she considers Cordelia's inner circle, and then she's left with nothing. I guess that how you could view it. I think some of the audience may have a better view on it than me, and I think you have a better view on it than me. It was good. It just, just that kind of that bat moment. It was a bit like, I was surprised she took it out on him so much, considering how he was speaking about Cordelia.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, like, it feels as if she was very hurt and not taking personal responsibility in her, and like how she was processing it, which feels a little bit victim blamey, but it just, this was very intense for what we saw. So I feel like I wish they could have maybe justified it a little bit more if they're gonna give us this much.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I am looking at it as this is a bit too much for what she went through. But I did want to mention that was just tiny, but I really liked it, was the small conversation we got between Angel and Giles. Because it just, I don't know, it felt like they connected a little bit there. Because technically, out of everyone at the school that we've met so far, I think Angel and Giles are the closest in age. But
what are you trying to say about Giles? How dare you? No, they are the closest in age, and I mean, again, we're looking at teenagers against a 40-year-old man, an early 40s-year-old man who's going to be a lot more mature and have a lot more life experience, and he studies. He's very studious, so he's going to want to know about these things. And Angel seems like all he does is brood and read and follow Buffy and brood and read.
Exactly. So I actually really just felt as if there was a connection there, and it felt like a well-motivated connection because they have a common ground, and probably Angel doesn't get out much or talk with anyone that he can be himself around.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear Angel doesn't get out much. I think another
so it
point,
was just kind of nice to see that.
I think something that what you're touching on right now, I guess you could tie into the episodes he's not been in because he's hiding from Buffy because of his feelings. So I thought that was very nice. Of all the episodes he's not been in, but this is why he's not there, because he's afraid of his feelings. And I think that was not. Sorry, I hit the mic. I felt that was nicely tied in with the moment with Giles, because he kind of confessed that he didn't want Buffy to know. And Giles, once again, if you've noticed, has respected someone's wishes and not said anything. He did it this episode, and he did it in the pack when he said to Xander that he wouldn't tell the girls, the women, what he remembered. So Giles is very good at saying, I'm going to respect you in this moment and not tell. And he could have easily just said, Angel helped, but then that would probably throw Buffy through a loop and kind of off her game a little bit.
Yeah, what I also liked is the fact that, like, without hesitation, Xander and Willow also kind of like copped into the lie. Like it's not great to be lying to friends, but I mean the circumstances we understand that this is quite necessary. So I kind of like how there were many small moments where we saw how well they had started to understand each other and kind of be able to feel on the same wavelength in many different moments and situations.
I very much agree with that. I also think in that instance, that little white lie is an okay lie because you know it's going to bring emotions into Buffy that she doesn't want to
We
deal
don't
with.
need right now.
Yeah, it's too painful, and I can respect that. That's actually being a friend because you don't want to cause your friend any discomfort or pain, or to make them think about something that again could throw them off their game. Because she's a Slayer, she has to be aware of everything at all times.
Yeah.
So we spoke about Marcy, and I think it's kind of hard because there's only a specific thing you can. Cordelia is the focal point. We spoke about Cordelia. We spoke about other instances. What did you think of the episode overall?
I quite liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but then there were so many parts about it that I liked. I think Cordelia really made this episode great. And I don't know, like the idea of loneliness is one that I like that they explored. I feel like actually Cordelia and Buffy did more for me in exploring that than Marcy herself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
because it's interesting because I like that we kind of saw three different reactions to loneliness. We saw Buffy taking kind of the more neutral ground. We saw Marcy being pushed to the extreme, and then we saw Cordelia basically playing camouflage. So it is interesting because I feel like that was really well explored in that sense.
I'm not gonna lie, I did think in the back of my mind that you would really like this episode. I feel like it's just got themes and understanding that work for you from what I've watched of you and when I talk to you. I feel like this would be an episode that you would really like to discuss afterwards. I feel like there's so much you can touch upon. So it was interesting. That's why I never said anything to you, because obviously we speak outside of this, of course. And so, I mean, yeah, because I spoke to you about how I feel about this episode, and I, in the back of my mind, thought you would like this episode. But it's always interesting to find out if you're correct or not.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting as well, considering this is like the penultimate episode. It does feel like it could have been earlier on.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just strange because the stakes are actually like I like the fact that the stakes were raised by a mere human. But then it's also interesting because, as I pointed out many times now, we didn't get anyone dying in this episode. So in that regard, it's strange that this is the penultimate episode where no one died, and it doesn't seem as terrifying as some of the other episodes. But not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad. I'm very happy to just have gotten a break
someone
from all the
didn't
death.
die. Something I actually want to quickly bring up is that beauty of a shot of when not Cordelia, I'm doing it wrong. When Buffy went quiet, and the lighting on her and the movement of her hair, the way it did like it was doing a pan around, and that was absolutely stunning. And I think not just the shot, but the understanding of Buffy's skills as a Slayer, I think was really a good representation in that moment.
Yeah, that was so well done because it almost seemed to slow down for a moment. And what I really liked about it as well is it makes sense because she is supposed to be fighting things that are quicker and more capable than humans. So her skills have to be heightened, all her senses have to be heightened. It would make sense that by just focusing and allowing herself to fully absorb what's going on around her, she'd be able to predict where someone is just by listening and taking in the environment.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It also shows how much stronger she is getting. If you think about Luke from episode 1 and how he dealt with Buffy, considering how she is now, it's a lot, and you can see how much more in tune she is with her Slayer abilities, and I think that's in big
Yeah.
part not thanks to Giles, and he doesn't push her too hard, and he lets her make mistakes and lets her understand things, and yeah, that shot was just, I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I don't know how
Yeah.
else to express it. It's just so beautiful. And I was curious, the actor in me and the person who's worked in the crew was just thinking, I wonder if they put it on like a 360 dolly rig to go around. But I don't think
I
so.
mean,
I don't think so because of the way it was shot, but that would be interesting. Because it wasn't an
mm,
extreme close up. It wasn't an extreme close up, so it would have been very difficult to film around like that.
yeah. I feel like they had to have done something where they could have picked multiple angles just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, they probably did. They
So
probably
maybe a
did a full
partial dolly
camera.
rig?
Hmm?
Maybe a partial dolly rig?
Partially,
Like a
maybe each side had
mm,
a bit, and so obviously as you reset and things like that, they can move that section of it away and do it like that. Or they might have just done a full camera
yeah.
shot. They may have done it like that. Well, I guess 2 cameras. They can't do 4 at one point, but it would have been 4 cameras.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just the technical side we're talking about here. But yeah,
Um
anything else you would like to talk about?
yeah, that reminded me, I actually really liked the moment where this is gonna sound bad, but where Buffy told Cordelia to shut up and she actually listened, because to me that showed how much trust she had actually placed in Buffy to listen and believe what she was asking her to do.
You know what that also reminds me of? We spoke about him already. The long forgotten Jesse, but when he's a vampire, he also tells her to shut up, and she listens. Sometimes Cordelia needs a little bit of authority. She needs to be sometimes kind of someone like a parent, because we don't know anything about her parents. We haven't heard anything about them. Sometimes she needs that kind of authoritative, like, uh, speech towards her, I guess.
Mm.
Telling her to shut up and just have that kind of sternness she kind of listens to. I think sometimes Cordelia, because everyone listens to her, when finally someone puts her in her place or tells her to do something in an authoritative manner, a tone, a certain tone, she listens. And I think that was interesting because Jessie did it to her, Buffy did it to her, and it shows that sometimes she listens. Sometimes she listens.
True. But yeah, no. I think that's it. I don't, nothing else is coming to mind.
That was episode 11, and we will be back with the season 1 finale. Thank you for watching.
Remember.